Okay, so okay, I guess side view, side, and go. It is bad. Sort of better. Okay, trying to be organized here. This is not easy. So the entire 12 years I knew the guy, after I met somebody else before him, the friendship and all, 90%, 99% of it was mostly me talking him out of suicide, me doing whatever, which I learned on Christmas Eve of last year that basically he was never suicidal. He was never any of those things. Yes, he did get bullied. That part is the only true part of this entire thing here. And these, like I said, I was friends with the dude for 12 years. I had his back through a lot. I can actually openly confirm this too. Knowing him growing up and that, I was actually I really am not used to this whole video thing. This is not easy. To sum it up in, I'm trying to keep it G and nice-ish. Besides his constant attempts of suicide, or false attempts of suicide, and that, I think that's like the only upside of him, is I found out how caring of a person I am. Still everybody first, or family and friends first, and then me last. It worked really well that way. The person I'm talking about, this is, like I said, or what I will be saying in my YouTube video tomorrow, or YouTube live stream tomorrow too, is Lonnie Williams. I met him in lunch, I want to say my junior year. No, it wasn't my junior, it was my sophomore year. JB was bullying him for his food. That's how he and I became friends. I didn't realize how toxic honestly, everything he did in that throughout the years, I didn't realize how toxic it really was, or how toxic he was, so that's my bad. And honestly, a lot of my friends nowadays have all been like, why didn't you just cut him out sooner? Even with him almost running me over with his car on one cold winter day. Thank God for rain and winds and the funeral home for being able to get the car away from it. There are a lot of attempted murder crimes he committed concerning me, and honestly, I'm excluding these from my autobiography because I'd rather not look that far back on my negative. But he reached out to my bosses of account that I do once a year. That's tying into this whole stream, or the purpose behind the stream. Kinda. I swear, I'm everywhere. Apparently he has like 2 screenshots or whatever, and I don't know what he said. I explained it to one of the bosses already that I cut him off on Christmas Eve because he overreacted and flipped out to me not hiring his cousin to work with me for the security job at the college here. It was a judgment call, and my boss said it was smart of me to do so, so I really don't mind, and whatever. The major thing of the entirety of that, of what led to him being this toxic, I guess being more poisonous, is the term that I'm looking for. He flipped out at me, he snapped at me over me addressing a public issue between me and his cousin, because the first NebCon I ever worked, his cousin not only snapped while we were in the snap room, or the staff room that we were organized with, that was for obviously room and board kinda, and yeah, he snapped there, and then on top of that, he also went and creeped out one of my best friends' best friends, like full on staring at her, everything. It took me hearing the side from one of her guy friends that honestly said, I'm like, hey, we know he's your friend and all this, but he really didn't want, or her friend really didn't want to do whatever with concerning the con. So, and I am still very, 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 very sorry about this. I wonder if I can tag her. How the hell does this work? Mentioned her just so at least she knows I'm getting the whole thing out here in one go, kind of whatever. That happened, and then years later, I found out his cousin was applying for a job and all. I'm not, like I said, this isn't slander. This is just my side of the story here. I take it how you want. Do with as you will, whatever. I didn't realize how much I could talk concerning a subject. To dive more into that and straight for the dessert of this entire thing. On Christmas Eve, I had to work. This is now in order. That's everything up to the point of what caused this entire thing. And what's funny is it's not even hate or anything coming from my heart. It's just, I'm exhausted. I am seriously exhausted and tired. Let's see, when I had messaged Lonnie telling him Merry Christmas and everything, wishing him obviously good Christmas and all, and I explained to him why I won't hire Tyler, why I won't hire his cousin at all, and honestly, you can go search all of Lonnie Williams, or aka Silverfang. I've been calling him Silver Tongue. That's the only thing I will cop to for a confession if people need it. He snapped at me about his cousin. I said, okay, whatever. I'm just telling you, I'm not hiring. I refuse to hire somebody who is more likely to rape or hurt the clientele rather than benefit the college, the church, or the company I'm technically still employed with. So this is one of those, I'm clearing the air on everything that needs to be said, that I guess past wise I never thought I'd actually have the balls to do. Holy shit, I can't believe that just came out of my mouth. But yeah, I cut him out of my life, removed entirely. I full on have like a script, or not script, I guess kind of outline of it. Thank you, Easy A, for that. The entire thing, though, is I was friends with this guy for 12 years. And I'm sorry for being repetitive and reiterating this entire statement. I was friends with the dude for 12 years. The suicide attempts were false. Him attempting to kill me wasn't, and that isn't an exaggeration. What's funny is this side thing and support group thing I started, am starting, he flipped out when I explained, I'm sorry, we're not a gang, we're not, well, that's what this is. It's going to be a clothing line too, on the good side of things. And yeah, he snapped about that too, because he tried to call it a gang when, okay, it blends, it blends tradition in a way. However, this thing is both to honor all the dead. I'm bringing up something good while I have a chance before diving back into the emotional. It's to honor all the dead. That's every kind, no one specific kind, like Wounded Warrior Project and all those other side organizations, cancer of all types. It's going to be my clothing line too. All proceeds of that will be going to Robbie Edenfield's family, his daughters, his nieces, his sister, and his parents. I'm doing that just to do it. That's after I get my business and side degrees. Now back into the emotional. I'm sorry for going everywhere and all. Yeah. The friendship was, it's weird because I look back at it now and it's more, I guess, in a way that I thought I was the problem, and it turns out I wasn't. I was just quiet, kept to myself, minding my own business, kept my head down. I can list almost all the times I got texts and everything from Lonnie explaining or trying to say, oh, here, I'm gonna kill myself and whatever. Well, honestly, his memory's crap, and I have eidetic memories, which is very, very detailed. There was an instance in high school where the girl I was dating and the girl he was with, he had threatened to murder her entire family, and this isn't an exaggeration. He full on threatened to slaughter her cousins, her, my girlfriend at the time, and all, and well, you get the idea. He went, I don't know how I feel saying this, but yes, he is a general psychotic, lunatic, crazy, whatever, and like I said, take it how you want. I'm just trying to get out. I want to say I want to get out. Technically, I'm trying to get out my truth, my everything. He, the entire time we were friends, between the false suicide attempts, him almost killing me a bunch of times, we got into at least, not an exaggeration, 26 fights in all over. I was big on training and big on lifting and big on self-teaching myself other. I love knowledge. That's, I guess, the nicest way to word this. A majority of the friendship, despite us having one friend that hated, or having a mutual friend that had wanted me to betray another friend of mine who is like a brother to me still, whether or not he knows this or not, up to him. Man, I feel like I'm in a confessional. This is not easy. I thought this would be easier than just talking into a phone or talking into the computer, but this is a lot harder than I thought it would be. we this 12 years, I basically looked out for him over everything. I'm no saint. I honestly don't even look at myself as a good guy. I can tell you that now. That's just my general view on myself. I'm not good. I'm not bad. I'm just here. I'm just, I guess you can joke, a robot living in life and just trying to survive day to day. Lonnie, however, on this factor, he is a okay. On my end, I try everything to be hopeful and positive and whatever for others. That's my biggest thing. I have one other friend to tag because she can confirm this too. Confirm or deny. Um, well, it's only been 16 minutes. I'm not used to this, whatever. Okay. So, trying to get this straight and not whatever. Like I said, I try to be hopeful. I try to be more of a positive influence rather than negative and whatever. So, the dude that I recently cut out of my life, which is Lonnie, we, like I said, I have attempted murder or him trying to kill me in memory of trauma. That's the biggest negative concerning him. He's not hopeful. He's not positive. I will use what I said to him last, and that was actually today. My final words to him was, he's basically a walking embodiment of negativity, and I feel weird saying this. If evil had a pure form, that's basically what he is. No matter what you do, what he says, all that, you can't trust him. If you do, literally, you're stabbing yourself in the back with a iron of some sort, or whatever blacksmiths use and all. The biggest thing, though, is that the entire time I was looking out for him and everything, he was actually full on stabbing me in the back. Which, I guess that might be why my big thing is survival 101. He instigated a bunch of fights. We went through more hell than we did good. There is no good. There's a little bit of good, but a lot of it's all mostly where his ego is basically being stroked. I'm not egotistical. I'm not narcissistic. I'm not a liar. Even though my law choice or my degree choice does kind of tie into that. What else? And I'm being honest with you guys completely concerning this. This is all the truth and nothing but. I'm going to the sign. And in to explain more on the story on Lonnie and my friendship, he only ever called me when he needed anything. That's 99% of what the friendship was. Oh, here, hey, I need help with my car. I need help with this, and this, or I need gas. I need money. That's what it was, what it is, who he is. more or less, even though he's trying to make money off of YouTube. And I can confirm now the last thing I did this year, currently, and all, was I addressed him publicly about, I called him out publicly for everything, both on his personality traits and whatever. I'm aware from an angle you'd probably call that, I guess, kind of a bully type or whatever, but I wasn't doing it to be a bully. I was doing it to just show his viewers and subscribers that if you really want to sit back and follow somebody, I mean, by all means, go ahead, but I'm sorry, I'm not going to sit back and let a dude badmouth me and try to make me look like I'm whatever. I've been dealing with that shit all my life, and yet here I am in school for law, planning on going back for business, gonna get a psychology degree too. I'm writing my biography, I'm writing a manuscript, I'm working on a clothing line starting up at some point. I'm actually going to be going abroad, hopefully here in the next couple months, or after con, mostly after con. I'm leaning towards after con though, because then I can have more fun. How the hell do you approach talking about subject when it feels like you're doing a job interview? If I had to write down, actually for my psychology course I did have to do a profile. I used Lonnie as an example for the definition of a sociopath and psychopath, and the true example of a narcissist and everything. Now, I just 29 this month, and I've done the stuff that I set out to do. I found my best friend's and brother's killer. That's a more personal matter. I've been sober from alcohol for 2 years. I've been sober from cigarettes and weed for going on 7. I'm spending most of my life nowadays trying to be a better person rather than looking back too much. If I'm looking back, it's mostly the good for my autobiography and, well, clearly for the how-to manual I'm doing. So there's that. I'm doing everything to try to be a better person and move forward and move on. I'm not being held back. Nothing's stopping me. It's one of those whatever. To explain things better, I hope. Whether or not I do have any people viewing, I don't really care. The major differences between Lonnie and I would have to be, I'm mature. I've grown up. I'm still growing. I'm not abusive. I'm no longer angry. My anger button don't even work. That literally, if the most I get is like maybe a fraction, like itty bitty little decimal of frustration, but that depends on whatever. My biggest thing in life though is helping others and being there for people. That's, I guess in a way this is both my story and in a way trying to bring myself to tell the truth and be honest here with a situation that personally, I don't have any good words for it. It's a crapshoot. That's literally what it is, and probably gonna be for a while. I cut him out on Christmas Eve because of his cousin. I'm more. A couple of jobs that I've applied for too are for jobs out at sea, which I've been told by like two major cruise lines that I'm more suited to lead my own ship than be a deckhand on one. The only thing I think I'm gonna really, really reiterate and say is the me now versus the me when I was a kid. Well, actually, the me when I was a kid was the same way. I'm still a put others first kind of person, and I guess my biggest thing in life is just growing rather than whatever. I'm looking at life more as we're one big ocean and forest and some sort of good trying to go forward rather than backwards. And well, obviously whatever. For those of you who do know me on here, I go by Adrian or Cam. I'll answer to either. Most of my con friends don't know me as Adrian. Most of my family, everybody knows me as Cam. I'll answer, like I said, either. What I'm never going to be is abusive, psychotic, lunatic, any form of crazy. My obsessive, not so much. I mean, if you count obsessing over like good things, that's like mild. My main thing is growth. That's what I'm trying to do now. That's what I'm gonna keep aspiring to do, and hopefully inspiring others to do here. So I don't know what I guess is really in store for my future. When I look back at it now, it's mostly one of those like, hey, here you can do it, you can't do it, you can go forward, you can go back, you can just about do everything. And well, like I said, it's there. I'm here for those who need me and don't. MMA is behind me. I'm more willing to coach that rather than fight. I will give a shout out to soldiers for having for I just want to say being good friends and everything. I can't read my numbers on my streaming time, my bad. But in short, this is my only video, and I guess in a way my documentation of my life story, which is basically a life that in itself is mostly covered in hardships and growth, with a few instances where I took steps back and ended up finding myself I don't want to say lost or confused. More times than not growing up, you usually see me with a notebook in my hands or on a bike or going out playing Yu-Gi-Oh, stuff like that. At the same time, though, it's also how the hell do I word this? Despite all the bullying and such, my main motivator has always been like I said, I think just helping others. I'm in live for almost an hour. For me though, I will have to say my main or overly big, whatever, has to be that besides always trying to look out for others, and I guess I kind of dubbed myself a guardian angel. Right place, wrong time has turned into a motto. We I'm praying tomorrow that I can tell this in order. The major life lesson I took from ever being friends with Lonnie Williams would have to be your enemies are often closer than it seems, and that not everyone is a white knight, and it's not even the fact of being a white knight, it's more like the orchid itself that is trust is something you have to keep I want to say keep safe from others, and at the same time if you feel like somebody is using you just for your muscle or for something else, then pardon my speech, but GTFO and don't go back. Don't look back. Because in the entire 12 years I knew the dude, I should have ditched out after the first murder attempt. And add in the fact of him robbing me too. Yeah, he's not someone you should trust or look out for or anything. And I'll say this personally, he's somebody I don't even care for anymore. Like I said, in my eyes, he's gone. He don't exist. I don't see him. He don't see me. Yeah, I still get notifications about him doing whatever on YouTube, but like I said, I'm on my own business, and I'm sure he'd like to say otherwise, which, as Judge Ing once said to me the very last time I was in front of him, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words still hurt me. So, the words can sting. It's just more or less a matter of how much you're going to let those words affect you in your daily life and go forward rather than go back. So, the grain of salt in this entire thing is, like I said, the enemy is often closer than farther rather than farther away, and we can't do much about that. I mean, I do give him credit for at least trying to kill me. That's, I think the only achievement he has on his thing is trying to get rid of me for some stupid egotistical reason. Yeah. And this is more like my rough version of this, because tomorrow I'm probably going to hopefully follow my script and not digress too much. Thank you. I don't know how many people are watching or aren't. I can promise the staff in Epcot we're golden, and I'm hoping to be there this year, just so I can represent my favorite DJs and my favorite entertainment bosses. Like I said, my final thing I'm gonna say though is I'm a law student, so in response to Lonnie saying that I'm harassing and stalking him, why would a law student harass and stalk somebody they just got out of their lives? For now, that's it. That's all I got. And like I said, I'm going live on YouTube tomorrow at probably 10-ish. So everybody knows and can tune in. Because like I said, this entire thing is going global. Later.